So I found it. All right, so let's go look at this template that I made for you. So basically what you're going to do is instead of having like guided oral input, because you're doing all your teaching on a packet, and I just shared the template for this, the link, so that you can use this once you get your own Canva. You can just open up that link. It's in the Google Classroom, and you can have this to modify. Now you can go in here and modify all kinds of things. You can like change this to whatever. You're probably not gonna have this font. It's like a font that I downloaded from another place. Let's go to the actual fonts that just come with the thing. I download a lot of fonts. I love fonts. Yeah, you can download, you can change it any font that you want. You can make it all cute or whatever. You can change the color. You can change the background. The way you change the background, you just click here. You can make it like crazy. I'm just gonna go Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z until I get back to what I originally had. What I would do is actually just use the same template, because remember, like, keep the thing simple. I was thinking about making you like 3 or 4 templates, and I was like, heck no, I'm not going to do that. So what you want to do is see where it says text template 1. You're just going to think about 5 different topics that you want to teach about through these packets, and you're going to name the template into something else. Okay, so you're going to change the name. So like, let's say that you want to, okay, there's a lot of different options. There's several different things you can do. In fact, I'm going to start a new little Canva document, and I'm just going to create something for you. I'm just going to make it like a poster. I'll make you a poster. Let's just go. I'm going to use my favorite font. Love this font. So it's going to be a huge poster. It's like 128 point font. Here's some options that you could make for your readings. Okay, so you want to start with 5 readings. They could all be about the same topic. Or if you like don't have a topic that you want to keep teaching about, that would keep it simpler. Okay, you could just have it about 5 different topics. You could also arrange it around like language function. That's how I arrange stepping stones. So like you could have 5 stories or 5 informational pieces or whatever. Then you're going to go find the source text. And right now is not the time to be giving your kids like a big challenge. Okay, like not even the AP kids. I mean, really, like who knows what the future holds with AP. Really, like who does? Some schools are, the whole state of Kansas is out for the rest of the year. I wouldn't worry about pushing my kids right now. I mean, just to be quite honest, I think a lot of AP teachers, like, we're all perfectionists, we're all type A. It's time to let that go. You might not have the best AP scores this year, but you know what? It's a global pandemic, the likes of which we haven't seen for 122 years or 102 years. So might as well just like let that go and not give your kids something that's going to stress them out. I've been hearing about a lot of kids being super stressed. So you want to think about the source. The best source, I think, right now for most classes will be actually like reviewing something that they've already done. Okay. So like if you do class writings, that could be like a really great source of something that you could do, or just recycle it. If you want to kind of like add extra, sentences and stuff like that, or like take a class writing and like modify it, like it's like the further adventures of Bob the Burrito, you could do that too. But you really, I think you really, really, really want to make sure that you keep the level pretty low. Okay, like I'm telling you, this is not the time to challenge your children. You could also like, that's kind of a different little category, right? So here's another category. You could also like, I'm gonna make that black because that's kind of like the header. Instead of using the class writing, you could go and look on the internet. And the whole idea here is that, okay, for the class writing, like you would have to maybe, use the class writing for each class. So that would automatically be leveled, or it could be fun, like to give them like the class, another class. So like, I would think the best thing for you to do is to go, look, I'm going to add this. You can just type any word in there, even abstract words, and put it in there. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait, that's not in my language. So let me show you a little trick that you can do while you're making these texts and stuff. You can, and I would like really highly recommend that if you can like go on CI Liftoff or go on your Facebook group or get in touch with your teacher friends and say like, hey, we have to make 5 readings like this weekend. I'll make 2, you make 2, and she'll make 1, and then we have 5. Okay. And you can give them the link and get them in this video and they can learn how to do this. If you see something that you really, really like personally, like I'm not going to go through all this trouble. I'm going to be like, I'm picking something without any words on it. But sometimes there's things in Canva that have like words on it and there is kind of a little workaround. So you go to elements and you go to shapes and you get this. And then this is like your little piece of like, you know, that tape stuff that you can like whiteout tape. So you are going to take this and like kind of slide it back in under there. Now, if I want it to come out in the front, I'm just going to do the position to forward. But anyway, then I'm going to change this to the same color as like the background. Okay. So like I just took the words off and then I could like go in there and make it say French. You know, vers le bas or whatever. I can make it smaller and like kind of stick it up in here. And then like in order for this to all stay together, I can like make sure that I've got all 3 of those things and then group it. And then it's like, well, now I've got the French for whoops. Gonna ungroup, stick this in there with it. Oh, and you know I would want it like the same color, right? So like there we go. And then I can group it. So I can basically, I love Canva because I can do anything I want. And then like I can make this bigger, I can make this smaller, I can turn it around. You can like, you have so much capability. So like, okay, if I don't like this, then I go like position backwards because like now I can see where it says another class. So anyway, if I am going to have them read another classes, I would go like vers le bas. Okay. Like I would go from like, if I'm doing a 3rd year packet and a 2nd year packet, I would give the 3rd year kids the 2nd year kids. And then the 2nd year kids, I would probably give them like another 2nd year class too. So like everybody's kind of reading down a little bit because now is not the time to be challenging those kids. So if you go on the internet, I would highly recommend, like I literally would recommend like getting together with like 2 or 3 other teachers right now over the weekend because there's a lot of people doing this, okay? And like find them in the Google Classroom or find them on CI Liftoff or just find them in your network and get them to work with you so that you don't have to make all of these readings yourself. You know, and obviously you don't have to make them all this weekend, but it would be nice to get them off your plate. So if you go on the internet, I wouldn't worry too much about like the level right now, but here's like a little piece of advice. I would say pour enfant, like in quotes. That means for children or for kids. So whatever it is in your language, you're going to try to put that in there. You're going to do it. Put that in there in quotes for whatever topic you want to talk about. So let's say I want to, I don't know, do recycling. So then I've got all these things here. And if I come down here, it's like, oh, Wikimini. So this is like written for kids already. So this is pretty easy. I am not going to be like selling this or using it for anything like major. So I feel like for myself, I don't mind just taking this over here and modifying it a little bit. There are some tricks that you can do to like modify the levels, but I'm not going to talk about those quite yet. I'm just going to put that right here. Doesn't that look nice? And then I'm going to read it. So recycling is an action that is consisting of transforming waste, for example, objects thrown into the trash can to make new things. For example, with boxes of like boxes of conserve. I don't know what that is actually. We can make the told them what's here. Oh, okay. The selective like sorting lets us recycle these things more easily. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If I've been studying French all my life and I don't know these things, maybe my kids are going to find these kind of hard too. So first I just kind of do that. And I think like, okay, well, I mean, like what is going to be hard? No. Okay. So recycling, but I'm not going to change it too much. Like it to say like le recyclage est une action, like that's a little more like English. It'll be a little easier. But like, so if I think that's gonna trip up my kids, like to say le recyclage c'est une action, like, but that's very French, so I'm gonna keep that. But I don't think I'm gonna like keep that in there for my beginners. So I'm gonna say c'est une action importante. So I'm trying to add cognates, you know, as much as possible. And then and then I'm kind of breaking up like longer sentences. I'm just going to repeat this. So another way to make things more readable is to repeat the subject and not the subject pronoun. So le recyclage instead of il consiste, which is it. So recycling consists of transforming waste. Okay, so they're not going to know the word waste. So I'm going to take this word and I'm going to put it over here in the caption. I'm going to say déchets. And then I'm going to come over here to elements and I'm just going to type what I want. Waste or trash. There we go. That looks really good. Oh, but wait, that's a picture. It's going to look better if it's a picture. So yeah, there we go. Trash. Well, this one's really cute. So I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to stick it right there. I just dragged it over here. That's why I made you a template so that you don't even have to think about it. And I'm going to just stick that in there. Okay, recycling is an important action. It consists of transforming waste I'm just going to say it consists in transforming waste, which is object you throw in the trash can. And then I'm like, okay, maybe they don't know what la poubelle is. I mean, they might not. So I can actually go in here and put arrow, okay? And I can put in, that one's cute. See, but it's pro. So it's good to have the pro. I'm going to just make this into a little arrow that says la poubelle. Now I might need to move this around a little bit because it's getting kind of crazy. Like, because the trash can is kind of on this side. There we go. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. And I'm going to say la poubelle. And then probably since there's kind of like two things that I'm defining in here, I'm going to like la poubelle. Oh, that's like the fancy poubelle. Actually, when I first learned the word poubelle, which means trash, like trash can, I lost my thing here. I thought it was really like elegant. Like for the word trash, poubelle. I just thought that was a pretty elegant word for trash. I think I'm gonna make this a different color. So if I want that to be a little bit different color from what I had there, I can go up here and say new color and I can like kind of play around with it just a little bit. You might not be as crazy as me, but I like making things look cute. And then if I want, I mean, I'm just going to show you this just because it's sometimes very useful. I can actually take it way down and not even see it at all. I can have it like a little bit higher, just depending on like what color I like. So now that I've got that the way I want it, I'm just going to copy and paste like Command C, Command V, or Control C, Control V on a PC. And okay, so sometimes this gets in the front and you can't highlight the thing in the back. So what you have to do is like send it to the back. So backwards. That way I can now grab this. I wish it wasn't like that. It's kind of stupid, but I guess it's like some kind of payoff. Okay, so now you see that this is all like kind of a group. So I made it into a group. I just like dragged over and highlighted it. And that means I can make it bigger and smaller, which I kind of like. So I'm just going to put this here. And then I'm going to say le recyclage right here. And at the top, I'm going to say recyclons. Okay. And then, of course, I want to have like a picture of recycling or like an image of recycling. Well, that one's really cute. I'm just going to put that right here. I mean, what would probably really be cute is put like a little cloud coming out of the back of the, you don't have to get all crazy like this, but you know, you can like build cute little things like, you know, like a little cloud, you know, coming out of the back of the trash can or the trash truck, but whatever. I'm going to send that to the back. Now, I'm probably never going to move these again, so I can make my life a lot easier by locking those down so I don't ever have to move it. And that way, when I move things around, it's going to be easier. I don't have to worry about like moving other things when I, you know, grab those. Make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to put this back up here. Okay, recycling is an action important. The recycling consists about transforming waste, for example. Oh, wait, we got to move this over. So the spacing's kind of weird. I'm going to take this down a little bit so it's a little bit. But okay, you notice that the oh, whoops. Yeah, why is this 24 points? I want this to be 18 points. Or maybe like 20. For beginners, and honestly right now I might treat all my kids like beginners, but for beginners it's best. I'm just going to put this up here because this is going to all change and I don't want it to be like in my way. Move this down, get it out of my way. Okay, recycling is an important action. Recycling consists of transforming objects into these objets. Wait, why isn't it have an S there? Objects thrown into the trash can. So like this is to make out of them, but like I'm gonna just say les objets I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say le recyclage again. Le recyclage transforme ces objets pour en faire de nouveaux objets. Okay, so I just took that out. I'm putting that down here. That's probably about all I'm going to have in like a beginner text. This is 21. This needs to be 21 too to make it look good. So then I'm going to like put in like some elements just to help illustrate that. So object, or wait, hang on, trash. So just going to find any old piece of trash that's free. So you could either say free, but like if you don't get the free account, you don't get as many like options. I really like to think that you guys are going to get the pro account. So let's find something that you could like recycle. You can't actually recycle those. I don't know why that's in here. Instead of saying trash, I think I'm just going to say water bottle. There we go. So cute. All right. So, you know, if I want to keep the theme of like green, I could, and I can make that clear by making that the same color as the background. So it's like, there's an object. And then I don't know what you make out of water bottles, but I'm going to pretend like, I think you can make like clothes. So sweatshirt. You can make like those little hoodies and stuff. So that's cute. Some of them don't change colors, but that's okay. So I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to use, okay, so in order to get one of these, I have to ungroup it, but that's okay. I can group it back. I'm going to get this just so that it like has this consistent look. And then I'm going to group these back. Wait, see, this is why it's good to like lock things down. So I'm going to lock this down, lock that down because I'm done with them. And that way, like I can just select the things that aren't locked down. So then I'm going to lock that down too. So it's all like up here. Now I can't move anything, right? It's just all locked down. It's really nice. And then I'm going to make this. So I'm going to say like, and then I'm going to put in the middle like a recycling symbol so that you see that it's like getting transformed into like a new object. And then I'm going to, wait a minute, I'm going to ungroup. I'm going to ungroup these again just to like, I'm kind of lazy. Like I'd rather do this than have to like make another box or another little text thing and like make it the same and try to like worry about like making it look the same. So that is actually still, so the and then transformation. And then over here, I'll be like, un nouveau objet. Oh, nouvelle. Un nouvel objet. Alrighty. So that looks good. Okay, so what is this? I gotta go find out what this is. Sometimes if it's like a cognate in English, you can't find it. So I do this. This is my little. What is it? I wish I knew. The rails. I'm still not understanding it. Some part of our car, but it's like, it's just so technical. Why are they putting that in a children's thing? Anyway, if you know French better than me, you're probably like, Tina, I wish I could talk to you. Okay, par exemple, avec des boîtes. Okay, look, I'm just gonna say like, I'm gonna change it to something I know. Bouteille. Eau en plastique. Avec des bouteilles d'eau ou à eau en plastique, on peut faire des vêtements. So probably at this point, like I don't need a caption down here, and I'm just gonna, or I don't need a subtitle. I'm just gonna put a really cool caption here, and I'm gonna think about something that I can put here. I'm gonna go back to this Wikimini and see if La terre n'est pas une poubelle. That's just a great thing to put in there. So I'm gonna put this back over here. Now, do you notice like I am like just putting the tiniest amount of French in here? But that's okay. Like if they learn the word poubelle, recycling, if they learn the word recycling and trash can and rejects or waste products and object and clothing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say un nouveau vêtement right here because no, it actually can spell check. I know at least in Spanish and French, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, wait, I need a photo of the earth. Okay, so earth. So put that there. That's adorable. And then I'm gonna put in a trash can on top of the earth. So sad, right? I could move these hands over a little bit so that like what I did was like double click on there and then you can move it around. And that's not really showing up all that great. So I'm going to put this here. All right. So now I've got my reading. Now you don't have to do this, but this is the easy, like it's literally the easiest way to make a reading. Because using Google Documents and because we're trying to do such high levels of visual scaffolding. I wish I could change the color on that. It would look like, oh, no, I can't. Because we're trying to do such high levels of visual scaffolding, we really need to have the flexibility of something, this like flexible. And that's why I just highly recommend that you use Canva. I like literally wouldn't teach without it. maybe this one is, yeah. See, some of them, most of them you can change the color, and some of them you can't. So I kind of just, it looks so good. In fact, I'll send you guys the link to this. You could just print it out and use it. So then when you're finished, so I would go ahead and change the name of this to the thing. So recycling. Okay. And then if you've got upper level kids, I gave you intermediate, advanced, pretty darn advanced, and super advanced. Then down here, you could go find some like facts about recycling, and you could fill this in. This thing is really cool. I got it out of the Elements. So if you go to like charts, man, there's like a million things that you can do with the charts. Wait, it didn't give you all the options. So yeah, if you go to see all the charts, there's all kinds of charts, and it does like the math for you. Not all of them do the math for you. That one's not going to do it. But all these ones up here that are like all these different colors, like it gives you the math over here. And so if you go like, I mean, if I go over here and I say like, you know, combien de okay, look, recycling numbers, you know? So I can just look in here and be like, all right, French people in 2006 had, you know, 360 kilograms of waste per person. I can just pull out some text. I could like find some, you know, some statistics, and then I can just come back over here and like decide like, okay, how could I just, you know, maybe it's like in 2005 they have this, and in 2006 they have this, and I am literally not above like taking out these items. Like, you know, these are beginner kids. So like, if there's this and it's like in 2005 it was like this, in 2006 it was like that, that's enough for me. And you can actually say here like, you know, recyclage, RECYCLAGE 2006 2017 or whatever, and it just comes over here and like changes it. So these are pretty cool tools for making readings. And I would right now go ahead and find some friends, or go ahead and just make like 2 of these readings, okay? And then I really would try to find me some friends. Or you might have readings that you've already read in class. So if I come back over here to the poster, I really highly recommend Canva. If you already have something that you read, right? Like let's imagine that you read like a novel they really liked, or you've already done like some kind of topic study and you have like a text from the topic study. You could take the novel and you could like open up to the page in the novel if you have it at home with you, and you could retell the story and make like a little in Canva and make yourself like a little mini graphic novel. So I'll show you how I would do that. Let's imagine that you're reading, or that you have, okay, this should ideally be something you've already read because you can't send home the original text. You're just gonna like write this parallel text. So let's think about the scene in, let's see, I'm kind of like can't come to mind with any of them right now. Okay, the scene in Brandon Brown Wants a Dog, which is so funny, where like maybe you've read Brandon Brown Wants a Dog, and where the Brandon's got the dog like in his bed and the dog goes pee pee, like it's under the bed. So okay, dog. That's cute, dog. Boy. That's cute, boy. The dog needs to be smaller than the boy, but there we go. So like here's Brandon, here's the dog, and they're in his bedroom. Bed. Great. Which bed looks the best? I don't really care. We're going for this one. Wait, where's the bed? All right, so there's Brandon, there's his dog, there's his bed, and the dog is under the bed. And so then you can just come over here. I mean, as far as I know, this is not copyright infringement. And you're not selling it anyway. it would be derivative work. You can't sell this, but like doing this for your students is not a problem. Brandon, pense que le chien a fait pipi sous son lit. Actually, Brandon looks a little happy to have this happening to him, but whatever. And then you can even put like thought bubble. Whoops. Thought bubble. Splash. Sometimes you have to think like, how could I say this? Like they're not gonna have anything called pee. Whoops. Splash. Huh. So funny. This is so hilarious. I taught middle school for a while, so actually the splash is cuter. And of course I'm going to make the splash like bright yellow. There we go. And I'm going to send it to the back. So he's got the PP like under his bed. And then, you know, I'm just going to put like the words in here, like, oh no, il a fait pipi. Sous mon lit. So you could kind of like, especially for like beginners, you could retell a story, or you could retell a story for your older kids and, you know, obviously write like longer stuff, or you could just keep it really easy because, you know, guess what? We're like dealing with this global pandemic. So, I mean, let's take it easy on people. So my advice to you right now is to go and think about these text types. Okay. And I'll share these templates with you guys in the Google Classroom if you just want to use it and like as a jumping off place. Maybe you don't have Brandon Brown Wants a Dog. Maybe you have other stories that you've read. Maybe you're going to use your own class writing and stuff. Or maybe you've got like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, we read that article about this thing. I could just like either reuse it and modify it a little bit with a little extra scaffolding. Because you notice like that's what I'm basically doing. I'm like, the word pense is here. So there's a you know, a thinking bubble here. Chien is here. Lit is here. Like PP is here and sous is there. So like if I think my kids aren't going to know the word sous, like some kids when they get to like a word, there we go. When they get to a word they don't know, they like flip out. And so if you've got kids like that, you know, that are really like struggling at reading and they like struggle with like their motivation and stuff, you can do stuff like this. Like, look. You can just stick this behind it. It's like, oh yeah. And then like, you could just keep putting this here. I'm gonna just put that behind it so that they're like, oh, like that's their cueing. Like, oh yeah, it's under the bed. And like to make it like extra, you know, it's like, it's under the bed, y'all. So my advice is to go and make 2, maybe 3 of these. Another way to get stories is to take something off the internet and modify it, just like on a Google document or something like that, and then have like your students, like put an email out to your students if you can communicate with them like that, or however you can communicate with your students right now, or even your own kids, or like people that you know, just ask them to do something and send it to you. So like to take a picture of it and send you a picture of like them illustrating this thing. So you could write something and then like have them illustrate it. Or you could go and use Mike PTOs. I still don't know what this means in regards to a car, but I'll figure it out. You could look up Mike PTOs. I'll just put this in the Google Classroom for you too. Obviously, I look him up a lot. It's all like different color because I go to this all the time. Over here, he has a video that you can watch about how to make students do this work. But like, I guess you could put this in the packet. You could ask them to you could ask them for their homework to like send you pictures of this, and then you could just like distribute them back to the other students. So you could have like some free voluntary reading. If you have the resource of like the Fluency Matters, and you're using that, then you could, but it does expire, I think, at the end of the month. I don't know if they're going to renew it or not, but you could take a book or something. I don't know how they exactly work, but and that they've worked with on Fluency Matters, and then like retell the story. Or it could be like a different story about Brandon, you know, like maybe it's like Brandon has an elephant in his room. That would be so funny. That would be so hilarious. Like if you took the elephant out, if you took that out and like put in an elephant, like a retelling, you know? Oh my gosh, how funny. Like what if Brandon has an elephant and the elephant's like under his bed? He's so hilarious. Like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Oh my gosh. Of course, elephants are going to have a way bigger pee than a dog, right? So, like, oh my gosh. So funny. Anyway, I lost my little thing. So the only thing that would have to change is elephant. How funny. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go to it and make 2 readings. And here's the thing. When you know, okay, you might be like, well, Tina's a lot of work. But when you know that this is like really some of the only things you're going to have to do, you can put your energy into this. And for me, this is the fun part. And if you're like, well, I'm not creative. Well, I don't know. I would say, you know, I was going to read you from that book, The Obstacle is the Way. Like, if that's what's getting in your way of like making things for your kids because you're like, I'm not creative, then maybe it's time for you to like use this time that we're sitting at home to like, you know, explore your creativity. I mean, with Canva, it really does like make it very easy to be creative because you can be a very literally minded person and just go in there and say like, because I just put like down and I got something cute, you know? And also Canva, it I've found is kind of like a brainy thing. Like to figure out like how do you layer these things together? Like if you're a logical kind of spatial type of more like sequential person, that can be really fun. And I highly do recommend to you that you like, you know, work together and share the work. You might make a new friend because there's not really any summer conferences this year, so you might as well make a friend online. Okay, I want you to please go and work on making 2 documents, but I want to tell you, don't spend too much time on them, okay? Because you don't have a lot of time. Like, you know, those weren't perfect. I just kind of threw them together. It should take you hopefully about, you know, 30, 40 minutes to throw 2 together. Don't overthink it. You're giving your kids input with visual scaffolding. That's all you need to do.